This could ruin the Boston Red Sox, as new trade rumors have the heart and soul of the team, Jarren Duran, being traded away to the San Diego Padres. We'll tell you what the details of this trade would be and why I don't think this is a good idea at all. Welcome into the heart of Boston sports. I'm Jace Andrews. If you are watching this video, I would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. Trying to grow the channel as quickly as possible, and I would love if you joined it as we're producing Boston sports videos, hopefully on the daily. So we start with the report here. Jarren Duran being talked about as a potential trade piece for the San Diego Padres, as this comes from Dennis Lin on the New York Times, saying a difficult June schedule could amplify multiple needs, but the Padres again are showing interest in Red Sox outfielder Jarren Duran. Sources tell The Athletic that San Diego's hole in left field was obvious before Gavin Sheets crashed into the wall. And this is nothing new. They had interest in Jarren Duran in the offseason of 2024. They've had a couple different times where they've shown interest in trading for a left fielder and specifically being interested in Jarren Duran. Now, there's a couple of different things that I don't like about this, but let's first start with why the Padres even have the need there. First of all, they've started a bunch of different players in left field. Now, in 2025, they had financial limitations to try and grab more than what they really were trying to figure out. And they brought in a number of players on small deals and minor league packs. Adding them to the incumbent options, so far they've tried 8 different players in left. Jason Hayward, Oscar Gonzalez, Brandon Lockridge, Gavin Sheets, Teresa Ornelas, Tyler Wade, Jose Iglesias, and Connor Joe. And obviously, none of those names strike you as top-tier left fielders. And so, the Red Sox has been brought up, and unfortunately, it's because of their record. They're under 500. They're underperforming. Alex Bregman is injured. The rotation is not as good as everybody thought it was going to be, and it's really just a tough season for this Boston Red Sox team for multiple different reasons. And so you look at this and you think, okay, well, the Red Sox have a backlog in the outfield, to put it in some ways. You have in left Jarren, and center you have Ceddanne, and in right you have Buehler Abreu. You also have Roman Anthony down in AAA, who should not be down there anymore and could easily come up and play left field. But I don't think this is a smart trade because, well, Jarren Duran is the heart and soul of this Boston Red Sox team. I would label him as probably one of my favorite players. I think a lot of people would say the same, and I don't think it would make Red Sox fans very happy to trade him away. I understand it's a business and things have to happen, but at the same time, it just does not make sense for me to trade away a guy who has been so good as your leadoff role, brings so much to the plate, and he is, in my mind, a 5-tool player, or at least a 4-tool player. His power maybe isn't there, or at least as much as it was last year, but he's still got a ton of things that he can perform in the Red Sox uniform. And honestly, it stinks because obviously you got Ceddanne on a good deal, but I would way rather have extended Jarren Duran than Ceddanne Rafeal. Now, it's tough in some ways because you look at this and obviously they're looking into upgrading in left field. Reports are that Jarren Duran of the Red Sox is on their list of trade targets. They have been interested in Duran before, as they were connected to him in rumors ahead of the 2024 season. So this has been a long-standing thing for the Boston Red Sox and the San Diego Padres. They have looked at Jarren Duran, and they looked at him even before the 2024 season where he had his breakout year. So credit to the Padres, they've scouted him very well because he performed, obviously, to probably way above expectations in some ways in this past season. Now this year his production has gone down just a slight bit, but at the same time, he's still a very valuable trade piece if the Red Sox were to move him. Now again, there's a lot of things to consider in this because Roman Anthony does play left field. However, at the same time, in my mind, I'd rather trade Buehler Abreu than anybody else in this Red Sox outfield. And, it wasn't really going to be an issue for the San Diego Padres until they lost Gavin Sheets in left field. He ran into the wall, and while he is, relatively healthy, he's fine. It's not the guy they want to have consistently in left field. And so it's a question of a couple of different things for the Padres. How much are they willing to spend? Because if Leody Devers is not going to be in this deal, I don't want to send away Jarren Duran. We saw what they gave up for Juan Soto in James Wood, Mackenzie Gore, C.J. Abrams, and I understand that we can't label Jarren Duran as Juan Soto, but at the same time, I think he is a high value outfielder and should be at least given a top prospect in the Padres organization, which includes Leody Devers. He's a shortstop. You can play him a couple of different positions, and you could easily trade him next year for a viable starting role in a rotation era. But I don't think the Padres are going to do that. In fact, there's been reports that have come out that said the Padres will not trade Leody Devers to the Boston Red Sox. So, what exactly do the Red Sox get out of this? Do they get some major league talent? Are they buyers at the deadline? There's so many questions, and it feels like we're in the same position we were in last year. What are the Red Sox going to be at the deadline? Going to be buyers? Going to be sellers? It's really hard to look at this team and feel confident in so many ways. Now, obviously, there is a scenario where the Red Sox do consider it. Now, the Red Sox currently have a crowded outfield mix with Duran usually slotting in next to center fielder Ceddanne Rafaela. Obviously, I mentioned Buehler. You also have Rob Refsnyder as the right-handed bench bat. Masataka Yoshida, he's gone. They've sent him to the shadow realm. He's never coming back. I really don't think he is ever going to be in the mix again, besides maybe in DH, but we've already seen that Rafeal Devers is not going to move off the DH role, so in that case, it's a lot of different situations to try and get up Roman Anthony. Now, he is considered to be the top prospect, but he can't even get called up, even though he's destroying AAA pitching. I just am baffled at this team every day and how laughable the situation is. First of all, why isn't Roman Anthony up? You're under 500. He should have been on the Major League roster. And I'm going to be quite frank. Before the season, I was all in trading Buehler away. And he played well, and he has been a top player on the team. But I think if you take away that first 20 games, 15 games for Buehler, he hasn't been that great. His batting average has dipped. He's on a very bad stretch. I don't understand why the talk here is trade Jarren Duran when it's just lack of knowledge by Craig Breslow to make a decision before the season started. And the whole talk in the offseason was trade Buehler away. Trade Buehler, you move Jarren to right field, or you move him to center, or move Ceddanne to right field. The right field in Fenway is basically a center field. Why not put him in right? And you have Roman Anthony in left. They should have traded away Buehler. Then you have a right-handed bat and Rob Refsnyder that come off the bench still. But instead, the incompetence of Craig Breslow shows its ugly head again. And he's made some good moves. There's been some good trades. The Quinn Priester trade was great. Ferry, if he turns anything, that'd be great. But at the same time, there's just some questionable things that have gone on these past two seasons of what are we doing? Marcello Mayer has been great and come up, but he wasn't going to come up if it weren't for injury to Alex Bregman. And Trevor Story, who has been, I'm going to say, a little better in the past couple games, he still is not to the level that I would like him at. It's hard looking at this team and thinking, okay, they're going to be contenders come September. Forget that. Come August. I mean, it's hard to look at this team and think much about it. And so, what to do? Roman Anthony is lighting it up in AAA. 303 average this season in 195 at-bats, 41 runs, 59 hits, 8 homers. I mean, in his entire MILB career, he has a 287 average and a 403 on base percentage with an OPS above 800. In fact, above 850. This is not a AAA player. Jack Caglione is making his major league debut tonight. He was drafted last year. Where's Roman Anthony? Where is he? I understand. Oh, there's not spots. Then turn Ceddanne Rafaela into a super utility role, because it's obviously not working to have his great defense out there in center field. We're not winning. Something has to change, and Roman Anthony, I didn't want him to be the savior, but now it's like, oh, well, we have to. But in some ways, do you even care to bring it up? Are they trying to manipulate his service time? Are they trying to make it to where Roman Anthony will not have a full year of service time? They can keep it up next year when they know that Jarren Duran or Buehler will be gone when they finally make a decision. When they should have made the decision this past offseason. They would have gotten a better trade package for Buehler. It's just a level of incompetence by the Red Sox that we haven't seen in a long time. And the butting heads between Craig Breslow and Rafeal Devers and Alex Cora to some extent, as he wants to be the GM. I mean, it's very simple. He wants to be that. And the Red Sox didn't consider him. And now you're sit here with two guys who, one wants the other's job. Rafeal Devers, who was severely mismanaged, and I credit him for standing on business. I mean, he was told to take away his glove, and now you're trying to put him all over the place. Now, at the same time, I think if the team asks you to do it, I would rather you be a more team player, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, at this point, Jarren Duran is looking like he's going to be traded, and that sucks. And it's all because we want Roman Anthony up, and that's great, but it just is, it's so infuriating when you look at all this. Now, the outfield's positions here. Rob Refsnyder, funny enough, has the best average. Jarren Duran, Cedon, and Wilyer Abreu. Wilyer Abreu, by the way, his average has gone down. Like, he is not doing well this season, and you could have traded him in the offseason. It would have been great. No, his WRC plus is still 119. He is a good player. I'm not saying the average determines everything. But at the same time, I look at this and I'm thinking, man, Roman Anthony can't be in this? Roman Anthony can't play in this team? How? I don't get it. So what would a mock trade look like? Obviously, I would rather trade Wilyer Abreu, and it has been reported that both Jarren Duran and Wilyer Abreu are on the table for the Boston Red Sox to trade away. Well, there's a couple of free agents that we'll have to look at here for the San Diego Padres. Dylan Cease, Luis Arias, and Michael King are all free agents in this upcoming offseason, and they could all be trade pieces for the Boston Red Sox. Now, obviously, the big trade is Jarren Duran and Luis Arias being flip-flopped. Also, Red Sox getting a prospect in it because we need a first baseman. And while I do agree with that, I like what Abraham Toro has done, and I also believe that Romy Gonzalez being back, and especially the night he had against the Angels, I'm fine with having those two as our first baseman until we have Tristan Casas next year. Like, it's not that big a deal. We don't have to go trade for a first baseman at this point, especially when the season you're 29 and 33. Like, it's whatever. Dylan Cease has been not great at all this year. His ERA has really ballooned. He's not had a lot of good starts. I'm not going to say I still think he's a good pitcher, but I just don't think that he's as good as you would want him to be. Then you have Michael King with a 2.59 ERA, 4-2. He is injured. He is injured right now. But he was also talked about as a potential piece for the Red Sox to get in general. So I think the trade would include likely one of those threes, if not all those three guys. Potentially, if the Red Sox cannot get a prospect out of it, do they get all those three pieces and be buyers at the deadline in some ways? Is it a weird swap? Like, it's the same feeling as last year. So it's like, well, are we buyers? Are we sellers? Are we going to be right in the middle again? Because we didn't make a decision last year, it felt like. And it seems like we're heading right to that road again. And at some point, I'm going to get a little tired of it. The trades that Craig Breslow has made has been great. And Alex Bregman signing was great. I don't know how much credit I want to give to him or John Henry and Alex Cora, but either way, he's made some good moves, but at the same time, it just feels like we're in the same position we were last year and to some extent the year before. Like, it's just always the same thing happening with this team. So what exactly do you do? Let me know down in the comment section what you think about this. If you made it to the end of the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, as we're trying to grow the channel as quick as possible. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time on the Heart of Boston Sports. We'll see you later. Peace out.